In the world of scientific geniuses, one name echoes with mystery and intrigue: Dr. Vegapunk. With his knowledge of a hidden world, is he the government's greatest threat, or is he their secret weapon against a new world? I'm going to peel back the layers of secrecy to reveal the true essence of Dr. Vegapunk. He's a scientist from the One Piece universe, hailing from Karakuri Island. He's currently 65 years old and born on August 9th. He ate the paramecia-type fruit Nomi Nomi no Mi, or the brain fruit. The fruit allows his brain to store an infinite amount of information and remember every memory. The more information he stores, the larger the brain gets. He's based on Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a renowned theoretical physicist who lived from 1879 to 1955. He's the author of the famous equation E=mc², which states that energy is equal to mass times the speed of light squared. He also made huge findings within the theory of relativity. Both are geniuses with a passion for advancing knowledge and making groundbreaking discoveries. Vegapunk's tongue sticking out is even a reference to the famous tongue-out photo of Einstein. Dr. Vegapunk is the leading scientist of the Special Science Group employed by the Marines. His tasks are to discover the secrets of sea stone, how devil fruit powers work, the co-discovery of the lineage factor, the creation of the pacifista and the seraphim, and other scientific projects that are at least 500 years ahead of the current technology. 24 years before working with the world government, he was part of a science group called the MADS. They were also known as the Laboratory for Peace. His partners were Caesar Clown, Queen, Judge, and Buckingham Stussy. The term MADS is believed to come from the term mad scientist, which is a popular reference used in many different forms of media. It just means that these guys are crazy smart. Emphasis on crazy. The MADS laboratory was a large paddle streamer sailing boat. It had a white flag with the word pacifist written on it. The hull featured the name MADS and the phrase presented by Dufeld. The MADS research was financed by Dufeld, the loan shark of the underworld. The character may be inspired by the tycoon Sheldon Adelson. Sheldon was known as a famous businessman who built his fortune and lost it twice over in his 30s. He created over 50 businesses, making him a serial entrepreneur. Vegapunk was the director of MADS. Each of the scientists were responsible for their own work, except Stussy, who was viewed as a freeloader. She was part of MADS but contributed nothing to research. She did, however, provide the genetics to create Stussy, the first artificial life form created by MADS. The intended goal of MADS was peace, but three of its leading members, Queen, Judge, and Caesar, were developing weapons of mass destruction. Vegapunk was the only one interested in peace-promoting products. Some of these included an artificial breed of flowers that can grow in gunpowder, which made weapons like tanks useless. This frustrated his co-workers, and the three began fighting over who should be the second in command. One of MAD's biggest discoveries was the lineage factor. This is also known as the blueprints of life itself. It's like DNA in the real world, discovered by James Watson and Francis Crick, who in 1953 proposed the double helix model of DNA. This discovery allowed them to create clones in one piece, and the first successful attempt was Stussy. Clones have a deep history in our world too. Dolly the sheep was cloned by scientists at the Roslin Institute in Scotland. It was the first mammal cloned from an adult somatic cell. Somatic cells are all the cells of an organism except the reproductive ones. After Dolly, scientists have cloned several other animals, including cows, pigs, goats, and mice. However, cloning remains a highly controversial and ethically sensitive topic. Many countries have laws and regulations in place to prohibit human cloning. Eating a devil fruit affects the lineage factor. The lineage factor of someone with a devil fruit can be studied and duplicated, making it possible to recreate the fruit itself, or to create a blood substitute with the traits of the fruit user. This makes it so potentially more than one individual can have the same ability of a single devil fruit. This is normally impossible since devil fruits are unique. Green blood is another application of the lineage factor discovered by Vegapunk, which consists of a synthetic liquid like blood. It can manifest the effects of paramecia devil fruits when infused with the pacifista's body. In this case, it was developed for the seraphim to be equipped with paramecia abilities. The MADS team was eventually arrested and Vegapunk was later integrated into the Marines. There is currently an attempt to revive the group through Neo-MADS by former members Vinesmoke, Judge, and Caesar Clown. After the disbanding of MADS, the world government recruited Vegapunk and Caesar to continue their research under the government's supervision. They were given their own research facility on Punk Hazard. The way in which some of the members of MADS were conscripted into the world government is similar to Operation Paperclip. This is when the United States government conscripted German scientists after World War II, and thus began the Special Science Group, or the SSG. They conduct research and development for the world government. This includes the pacifista and the seraphim. And this leads us to Vegapunk's island, Egghead. Civilians on the island wear clothes with the words lingus, history, petrology, and civil, representing linguistics, history, petrology, and civil engineering. Vegapunk's research was on devil fruits and their link to the lineage factor. This allowed him to use the lineage factor of Kaido to form an artificial replica of the pirate's fruit. This also helped him find the secrets behind green blood, and utilize these for things like the pacifista. The pacifista are human weapons developed by Vegapunk. They are cyborg clones of Bartholomew Kuma. Kuma is born from the Buccaneer race. Their race is one that consists of people who have giant's blood running through their veins. They were said to commit a great crime against the government and basically were eradicated. Kuma's father told him the story of Nika the sun god. It was passed down through generations of Buccaneers. Kuma idolized Nika and the idea of liberation. This could explain why he saves Luffy and his crew pre-time skip. One pacifista costs the same as a marine-issued battleship. By using the blood of the Lunarian Alber, better known as King, Vegapunk was able to use the lineage factor with the Seraphim to grant them abilities of the Lunarian tribe. This is why they look similar to King, with brown skin, wings, and a fire plume. Vegapunk was able to increase the durability of flames on their back, which is a fault with the Lunarians. The Seraphim are meant to replace the Warlord system for the Marines. They are living clones of the Warlords. They emulate their Devil Fruit, personality traits, and abilities with the use of the lineage factor and green blood. The Seraphim work similar to the Pacifista by executing their duties. The 5 elders, Vegapunk and Sentomaru, are the only ones with control over them, unless someone gets the authority chip. Sentomaru was saved by Vegapunk and Kizaru at a young age. He was then employed to protect Vegapunk and views him as family, even going against the government to protect him. And if you subscribe to this channel, I promise to protect you. Disclaimer, there are limits to the amount of harm I can protect you from. When given a command, the Seraphim will need to see it through, unless someone ranked above the previous controller makes a new command. The Seraphim are insanely strong, and we've seen them take on some of the toughest characters. The scary thing is, they're still children. How much stronger will they be as they rapidly age? Seraphim are angelic beings from Christianity who belong to God's highest order. They are a part of the ninefold celestial hierarchy. Seraphim means the burning one. We can see this as they are coated with Lunarian flame. They could also represent Puto. They are a small plumped winged boy you see in many Renaissance paintings. It's where we get the depiction of Cupid from. They have been known to be represented with the second highest rank in the ninefold army. Egghead Island is a winter island with a summer atmosphere due to Vegapunk's weather machine. This is the finished version of the one he was working on Karakuri Island. To get to the island is tricky as Vegapunk's mecha sea beasts protect the entrance. It belongs to the world government and is considered future island. Fabrio phase is where the workers and researchers are. The scrapyard is also in the Fabrio phase. This is where failed experiments and the mysterious Iron Giant live. Labo phase is where all the magic happens, as this is Vegapunk's laboratory. It has 3 main buildings labeled A, B, and C. The layout is based on Raygun Gothic style. It's a retro-futurist movement that originated in the 1940s and ended in the 70s. There are many nods to pop culture here from this era. The features on the island like jetpacks, sci-fi gizmos, and Atlas's design resembles Astro Boy from the 50s. The satellites are similar to Cyborg 009, as they are a team working under a main scientist, while the holograms and robots pay homage to Ultraman and Mazinger Z. Building A is used to research devil fruits, create synthetic minerals, synthetic organs, and control the rest of the island. Building B is for weapons, and Building C holds Kuma's memory bubble and Punk records. This is where Vegapunk and the 6 satellites return each night to upload their collective memories to the records. Vegapunk then uses a remote antenna to connect to these records from anywhere. He managed to split his consciousness into 6 different beings referred to as the satellites. The kanji translates into offshoots, and all the members have names relating to specific celestial bodies found in the solar system. Vegapunk himself is often referred to as Stella, Latin for star. Vegapunk is the sun and all other celestial bodies revolve around him. The satellites refer to themselves as Dr. Vegapunk, but also have unique names and numbers assigned to them. Shaka and Lilith share their names with 2 asteroids located in the solar system. Shaka is also the Japanese name for Gautama Buddha. Lilith is the name of a figure in Mesopotamia and Judaic mythology, depicting her as a primordial demon. Edison, Pythagoras, and Atlas are all named after lunar craters found on Earth's moon. This also ties into the idea that Vegapunk has been there when we see an elf fighting someone bearing an egghead Jolly Roger. York could be from the Cape York meteorite, which provided iron to local indigenous people since ancient times. When the world government had learned he was researching the Void Sentry, they sent out CP0 and partnered with York to kill him. York acted as an ally but was later revealed to be a catalyst for the egghead incident. She believed if she outed Vegapunk's research to the 5 elders, they would allow her to become a world noble. York embodies greed, as in Christianity the kanji relates to the 7 deadly sins. Alice is violence, as she is named after a famous titan in Greek mythology who is well known for being forced to carry the heavens. Edison is thinking, as his name comes from Thomas Edison, the creator of the light bulb. Lilith represents evil, as she was Adam's first wife who grew disobedient and partnered with Satan. And Shaka represents good, as the name comes from the representation of goodness, the Buddha. 22 years ago and several months after the Ohara incident, Vegapunk took a trip there to pay respect to the late Professor Professor Clover. Professor Clover was the director at the Ohara Library, and he was the one who knew the most about the poneglyphs. The island was destroyed for their research on the Void Century, which called the government to decimate the island through a buster call. Vegapunk came across the lake in the center of the island filled with books, and the realization that this was the final stand made by Ohara's scholars brought him to tears. Vegapunk noticed a group of giants pulling the books from the lake before being approached by Monkey D. Dragon, who had also come to pay his respects. Dragon explained to him that the giants were from Elbaf, and they knew the value of the books. Dragon was a bit annoyed Vegapunk wouldn't join the freedom fighters, but he vowed to bring peace to this world. Vegapunk wanted to take Ohara's library with him, but he couldn't risk the government finding out it survived, so he entrusted it to the giants. He later reads the books where he meets Jaguar D. Saul. The loss of the ancient world's single greatest archive of knowledge was the Library of Alexandria. Its reasons and culprit are both unknown, but many theories exist. The burning of the library is still believed to be one of our greatest losses of knowledge ever. This is similar to the Ohara incident, however the books there survive. Vegapunk is just a person on a mission to finally create peace through the use of science. Whether this can be done or not in the One Piece universe is unknown. Will he finally be able to bring the government to his knees, or will he be the newest Straw Hat? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. If you want to see why this manga is taking over the internet, click here.